reforms. As many times I have told you, agriculture, which provides livelihood for more than 60% of its population, and that needs technological and institutional reforms for the betterment in farming. By technological reforms, we mean the introduction of better inputs and new equipments. The use of these inputs and equipments have helped farmers to get more output from the given piece of land. And because of this, people have launched some institutional and technological reforms, and that have helped a lot to the farmers. So let's discuss that. The first point that is Green and White Revolution, which helped to improve agriculture. As we know, Green Revolution means a revolution in which the farmers were taught the betterment of agriculture will happen when they use HYV seeds, new upgraded machineries and better fertilizers. Going back to the White Revolution, which is also known as Operation Flood, and that was launched on 13th January 1970, and that was known as the world's largest dairy development program, which was taken for the betterment of the farmers. So these two comes under the technological reforms. Moving ahead to the comprehensive land development program. Land was there, but development was not happening. So it was dealt that how the development can be done, how the land can be utilized, and how it will be for the betterment of the farmers, and in fact will give betterment to the country. So the land reform measurements were taken. Moving ahead to the tube wells, pumps, drip irrigation, sprinklers. These were the technologies which were used for the betterment of the agriculture, that again added up with HYV seeds, fertilizers, pesticides, and then the new upgraded machineries, because people were using those primitive tools, but then they were taught to use the new technologies, and that were the tractors, the trucks, the trolleys, which helped them a lot. With that, we had some institutional reforms also. Moving ahead with the first one, that is abolition of the zamindari system. Yes children, the zamindari system was a very big curse to the people of India, because the zamindars were very corrupt. The poor farmers, when they went to the zamindars to keep their land as a mortgage in front of them, and they used to take a bit loan from them. But when they went back with that loan reimbursement, then they were not given that land back. But in place of that, they were told that you people have already sold out the land. And that was very problematic. So the abolition was necessary, and these zamindars were needed to be taught that you cannot keep anyone's right. If they have given the money back, you have to return the land and whatever the paperwork were there, you have to return it back. So the institutional reform, that means with the abolition of zamindari system, it helped a lot to the farmers. Next, coming with the widespread use of radio and television. This means first, previously, they were not knowing anything in which type of environment or in which type of soil, in which kind of weather, what they have to sow. But then through the knowledge of radio and television, they came to know that in which season, what is a kharif season, what is a rabi season, in which season, what they have to cultivate. And when they knew this, there was result, a better productivity. The third, moving ahead with the crop insurance. There was drought and floods always happening. So many times the farmers were not getting anything. At the last, there was given the surety that the crops will be secured, and that was with the crop insurance, which was given against drought, flood, any type of cyclone or any type of disease. If it happened, they were getting the crop insurance, and that was again benefited, and after that the farmers held a lot in the development of the country. Then moving ahead to the rural banking and the cooperative societies. These rural banking and the cooperative societies were set up where they could take the loan, because now the zamindari system was not there. They can take the loan and then they can buy whatever the necessary thing is needed for fertilizers. You can take the seeds, whatever the things were required. They used to take everything, and that help was provided by the rural banking and the cooperative societies. Moving ahead with the KCC, Kisan Credit Card. It is the scheme in which the farmers are given a loan beforehand they are doing anything for the farming, and this is a very limited amount of 6 to 7% is taken, and then they are given this money so that they can buy whatever the things are needed, like the fertilizers, the seeds, the machineries, whatever they require for the farming. They can take the thing from that money, and after they have a better cultivation done, after that they can retain back, or after they regain back whatever they have invested, they can again prepay back the loan amount to the bank. Then there was a PAIS, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme. Under this, if any mishappening happened, they are getting a reimbursement of money also. And that was again a very good policy which was taken ahead by the government regarding the benefit of the farmers. The last was collectivization and the consolidation of the land holding. If you remember, in my last to last lecture, I said the farmers were not benefiting because their land size was reducing generation by generation, and because of this they were not able to benefit. But then they were taught, the knowledge was given to the farmers. The collectivization means they have to collectively unite the land and then do the farming, and when the farming will be good, they will in fact do the betterment, and then they will have a surplus amount of production. I have one more pointer, and that is the 7th pointer, MSP. That means minimum support price. And this minimum support price was set by the government of India, that they will purchase directly the things from the farmer, and this rate was fixed to provide the minimum profit for the harvest, just like you saw in the crop insurance. In the crop insurance, we were seeing that whatever the problems were, if there was drought, flood, cyclone or any type of disease, then they need not to repay back the loan amount, and that was benefited by the farmers. And these all topics, that is the technological and institutional reforms, was taken just for the betterment of farming and the GDP growth of India, because many of the farmers were quitting the profession of agriculture.
Realizing the importance of new technology, institutions and bodies to improve the lot of farmers, the Government of India took several initiatives after independence. The land reforms initiated in the first 5-year plan aimed to abolish zamindari and consolidate land holdings. The consolidation of land holdings involved combining adjacent small fields into single large farms and encouraging individual landowners to do cooperative farming. The Government of India introduced major agricultural reforms in the 1960s and 1970s that came to be known as the Green Revolution in India. The major highlights of these reforms were providing high-yielding varieties of seeds and fertilizers to farmers, and developing large-scale irrigation facilities to allow them to grow 2 crops in a year. there was also a white revolution led by Dr. Verghese Kurien. Kurien and his team invented a process of making milk powder and condensed milk from buffalo milk. Conventionally, this was done using cow's milk. The benefits of land and agricultural reforms were limited to a few areas in the country. Hence, the government launched a comprehensive land development program in the 1980s and 1990s. The main highlights of the land development program were insurance cover to farmers against damage to crops and setting up of rural banks and cooperative societies to provide them loans on easy rates of interest. The government also started broadcasting radio and television programs to educate farmers about new techniques of agriculture and give them prior warning about weather conditions. To stop the exploitation of farmers by middlemen, the government announced the procurement, remunerative and minimum support prices of all the major crops in India. The government also launched personal benefit schemes for farmers, like the Kisan Credit Card and the Personal Accident Insurance Scheme. The Government of India launched several programs and initiatives to improve the condition of farmers.